What's going on, PC fam? Welcome to another episode of Chill with Chill. Happy to see y'all. What's going on, Chill? How you doing?
You know what time it is, Big Ox. We're in the middle of basketball season. You know what time it is, and we got some real good stuff for y'all today. Yes, we do.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah. Chill. I want to start today's show off a little a little lighthearted with a little comic relief, if you will. Now we've had a conversation before here on the panel. We've had this conversation a few times. Now, Chill, I want to know something. I want to play this video, and I've got a quick question for you. Quick question, nothing too deep. Oh yeah. Okay, here we go. Chill.
What we got going on, Ox?
Does Deuce need his little ass whoop?
He might, yo. Look. Yes.
Is this boy bad?
It's hell, Ox. It's hell. And his pops ain't helping because his pops just helping because his pops just going along with it. Yes,
just walking
and put a belt to his ass.
Oh man, yeah. Jason just walking by, just chuckling like he's like his kid ain't children of the corn. That boy bad.
He's bad as hell. I'm gonna whoop this little ass. I am. I'm gonna whoop this ass.
Chill. Speaking of kids, Chill. I want to let you know. I want to let the people know how seriously we take this. Chill. So I got up early this morning. My son had a game this morning.
Yeah.
I had to leave at halftime. My wife calls me 3 minutes after I leave. My son scored his first basket of the season, and I just left. I just left.
What the hell?
Hey, but Chill, it's all good. We here to talk hoops. He'll score again. No big deal.
All right.
Yeah.
All right.
Chill, I want to start off with some college hoop stuff.
Okay. What's on your mind?
So today we got Yukon versus USC. I believe number 4 ranked Yukon women's basketball. Number 7 ranked USC Lady Trojans.
Yep.
This is what's been called game of the season so far. Even though we've had some great games, we've had Texas versus Notre Dame, Yukon versus Notre Dame. We've had some good games too. Are you going to tap into this game?
As soon as I get off with you, Ox. It's tonight at 8:00. But yes, they have to go to Yukon. Ox, the state of women's basketball. The state of women's basketball, I feel like it's in a great place. There's an old saying, all press is good press. And if they're talking about you in the news, that's a good thing. And the fact that we're looking at 2 future pillars of pro basketball, because both Juju Watkins and Paige are the future of basketball. And we can broadcast this and we get to see what they look like right now. I think this is fantastic, Ox. First and foremost, as good as Juju is, she's not having a down year. She's still, I think, if not the best player in the country, one of the 2 or 3 best players in the country. If she isn't, right, then Paige is right there as a story. We need teams like people always talk about loving the underdog. You don't love the underdog because when the underdog is involved, you don't watch. You know who you do watch? You watch the Yankees. Yes, you do. You watch the Lakers, right? You watch the Knicks. You say you care about Oklahoma City until Oklahoma City is around. Then we don't see you. So as much as you say you care about University of North Carolina, Wilmington, you don't care about them nearly as much as you care about Yukon. You don't care about them nearly as much as you care about the better teams in the country. So the fact that USC is going to Yukon tonight to play them, and this is a big time matchup, I don't think we talk nearly enough about the other girls, the other women that Juju is running with. This chick Kiki is the real deal.
Oh yeah,
this chick Kiki is the real deal.
She's an automatic top 5 pick.
I didn't give her nearly as much credit, Ox. I didn't realize, one, how versatile she was as a bucket getter. I think that was my biggest issue with her. I thought she was just a box player, right? I thought she just played on the box. I didn't realize how good she was. I didn't realize how good she was in the mid post. Like she could shoot in the mid range too. And on top of that, she gets on the glass. I like that about her. And she should do work. I'm not saying that she could. She should do work against Sarah Strong. She should handle Sarah. There's no end. There's no way that a senior, and don't get me wrong, freshmen are really good, but as a senior, and I've been doing this for as long as I've been doing this, she should handle Sarah strong. I like USC in this game, Ox. I do.
Okay, I do. I got USC winning as well. I would say Kiki is one of my favorite players in college basketball right now. I was a big fan of her when she was at Stanford. Happy that she got down there with Juju. So as some of us know, AZ Fudd is not playing. Still got that, dealing with that knee situation. I don't think Yukon got enough to deal with the firepower USC is bringing, but I hope that everybody here, I hope y'all tap into that game. Y'all let us know how y'all felt about it on Monday. Chill, I know you'll probably get some texts from me tonight about this game. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm really looking forward to it. I got USC. That's my prediction.
And for the record, guys, just so you know, this we're not saying this just to say it. This is damn good basketball between USC and Yukon. This is really good basketball between these two. I would like to have seen Fudd play. You know, her knee injury is kind of slowing her up, and I think that that's going to be a benefit to USC because they got a damn good dirty work girl in Kennedy Smith. She's a damn good dirty work girl, right? So she gets on the glass, and not only does she get on the glass, she does the necessary things as a rotation player in order for them to win, right? So with that being said, we don't just bring up women's basketball just because it's a part of the culture. No, these women can play. And if you don't tap in, you're missing a really good game between both Yukon and USC. Really good one.
Facts. Well, moving on to the NBA, chill. We had some games last night. We were on the main stage, and we saw the Cavaliers just absolutely dismantle the Milwaukee Bucks. What was that all about?
Well, one of the things that was the biggest problem is, you know, my lead guard ain't there. So without my lead guard there, 24 games off the floor, that's going to be a problem moving forward because now I don't have that to combat with Donovan Mitchell. And then I want to couple that also with the fact that Cleveland at the long ball line, I mean, they shot the lights out to start. I think in the first quarter, they shot over 50% in the first. In the first quarter, they barely shot 30% in the first quarter, but then they got going, right? Then they got going in the second quarter, and then in the third quarter, then it just snowballed. They started off slow at the long ball line, and I felt like Giannis was all that they had, and Giannis went at Evan Mobley. But the good thing about Evan Mobley was Evan Mobley went right back at him, and with him putting Giannis and keeping Giannis on the defense like he was, and Giannis being the great player that he is, nobody else could supplement that. And they had two of them with both him and Jared Allen, with Evan Mobley getting to the rim, dumping the ball off to Jared Allen finishing around the rim. And we had a conversation yesterday, Ox, about Darius Garland. Are there 5 ball handlers in the game better than him? And I really didn't pay much attention to Darius Garland as a ball handler because I just feel like I felt like it was just something that, you know, ball handlers do. And then I started paying attention to him. Ox, he does not make a lot of mistakes with the ball. Not only does he not make a lot of mistakes with the ball, he's fantastic at getting downhill. Now, is he one of the better finishers in the game? No, that's not it. But what it is it helps, one, Donovan Mitchell. He's got another ball handler who's really good, who can set him up to get shots, and he could get to the rim. So the fact that he's as good as he is with the ball and he doesn't make a lot of mistakes, that really helps Cleveland out. And on top of that, he can pass. So I didn't really give him as much credit as I think I should have as a ball handler. But then I went back when that was brought up and I watched him, and he's super nice with the peel. Donovan Mitchell got busy last night. I thought Milwaukee did a bad job in guarding at the long ball line, and I think that was largely due to the personnel that they had. The more I watch Andre Jackson, he gives me Andre Roberson vibes, to the point where I think I think he could be an exceptional defender, but the fact that he can't really shoot it, that's going to be a detriment to them. And I don't think he's got to shoot it at the long ball line. Ox, you brought up to me not too long ago about there has to be other ways to win. And that's a fact. People talk to me about the analytics and the mid-range shot being the most efficient shot in the game. Sure, that may be true. But I tell you what, I bet you if I can knock it down, I keep the defense a lot more honest as opposed to if I can't. I make myself a lot more of a threat on the floor. I don't have to shoot at the long ball line, but if I'm shooting 15, 18 feet away from the basket and I'm consistently knocking this down, what I'm doing now is I'm opening up more lanes for Giannis. I'm opening up more lanes for Damian Lillard. I'm opening up more avenues for guys like Taurean Prince. I'm doing that. But if I can't shoot the basketball, what I'm doing is I'm crippling my crew. I don't have to shoot the long ball like that, but I have to be a threat to shoot. And I think that that's one of their major problems in Milwaukee. This is the third time in a row that Cleveland has beaten Milwaukee. One of the times Cleveland didn't have one of the times Milwaukee didn't have Dame. Another time they didn't have Giannis. But you know what? In the words of my man Big Ox, that's not my problem. That's a you problem. That is not my problem. That's a you problem. That's a you problem.
I mean, I know nobody expected the Cavs to take it easy on him just because Dame wasn't there.
No.
Actually, shocked to us all, especially me. Ron said something very interesting last night when we were watching the game, right? About Chris Middleton. I think that was a coaching blunder, and I hate to put things on Doc because the people are just going to run with it and just do Doc dirty. But I don't think in a situation when you don't have Damian Lillard that you keep bringing Chris Middleton off the bench, because I think they could have used some of that scoring firepower from the first get-go.
Yeah.
Think that would have been very, very needed. I mean, Chris, he only ended up having 14 points, but when he got in, he was getting straight to it. And I think they needed some of that initially. I think that would have kept him in the game a little longer, gave him more of a fighting chance. But yeah, I mean, without Damian Lillard, it's hard to win. I don't like a team that's starting backcourt is AJ Green and Andre Jackson. I don't really like that.
No, that's not. We, even as good as Giannis is, we're not getting far with that. We're just not, Ox, unfortunately. But to your point about Doc and Chris Middleton, I think this is a situation where Doc is bringing him off the bench. I mean, he had 2 ankle surgeries. This is the second time he's had ankle surgery on both of his feet, by the way. And I think Doc is valuing the postseason more than he's valuing the regular season. And I feel like he's looking at both Giannis and Dame to get us there. And I'm going to slowly bring along Chris Middleton, kind of like what was going on with Leonard and with the Clippers. Like, we'll bring him along slow, and by the time we get to the postseason, he'll be ready. Now, this is a different situation in the aspect that Leonard has he's got a condition, and I think that what Middleton has is a lot more manageable as opposed to what Leonard has. But I mean, when we talk about division games, I take division games into account because these are potential. The reason why I take them into account, Ox, is because these are potential playoff matchups. In fact, you saw Indiana last year in the playoffs. They're in your division. So I take that stuff very seriously off the strength that when we see you late in the season or when we see you in the regular season, I feel like it's a confidence booster. A lot of people say that the regular season doesn't matter. Well, I think it does off the strength that when I see you in the postseason, I'm a lot more. Even if you are able to turn it up, I'm still more accustomed to who you are. So I'm not really a fan of bringing guys along. I'm a fan of bringing guys along slowly. What I'm not a fan of is I'm not a fan of looking past division teams that I could potentially see in the postseason. No.
Right. And I just to be clear, I understand that there is a minutes restriction with Chris Middleton. Sure. And so I'm not saying he should have played more minutes. I'm just saying he should have played earlier. Because so I'm not saying whatever his minutes restriction is, I don't know exactly whatever the exact number is. I just think he could have used those in a different way just to keep him in the game a little longer. I'm not saying, Chris, you got to be out here. We need you to win. I think all games are important, but I do understand that this, you stress Chris Middleton's ankles out and he gets hurt again trying to beat the Cavs on December 20th, you know what I'm saying, and just flush the whole season down the toilet. I think that's a terrible move. But I think he could have played him just a little more, just to keep that game a little more competitive. We saw another game last night, though, OKC and Miami. Any thoughts on that one?
Ox, I'm loving how Tyler Herro was playing. Like, Tyler Herro told me that it ain't really much of a difference between him and Luka and Trae Young. And I was like, man, stop. Go ahead with that, yo. Don't do that. And I don't think that I don't think that he's on board. He's on point with that. But what I can't deny is I can't deny how good he's been. I can't deny that. And I was looking at the All-Star roster for the Eastern Conference, and I'm trying to figure out how you keep Tyler Herro off that. Because I'm looking at how he played, right? I'm looking at how he played last night. One, Tyler Herro stays within the flow of the offense. He looks like he could get whatever he wants. Ox, me and you went at it when you told me that if Tyler Herro plays in that Denver series, you ain't saying that they win it, but it's a different series. And I'm like, Ox, the way Joker was playing, I think you're crazy. I don't think that you're not seeing what I'm seeing. But if I'm looking at this Tyler Herro and I'm thinking about what he could have brought to that series, we might be talking about a different series. I ain't saying that you might be on to something, Ox. You might be. I'm not saying that is completely different, but you might be on to something off the strength that what Tyler Herro brings in terms of a secondary scorer, a dude who can crack the long ball, a dude who can get out in transition. I'm watching him last night. Some dudes would have been looking for the foul, getting to the rim. He gets out in transition and he dunks on Hartenstein. Straight dunks on Hartenstein. That's what I'm talking about when I say going to the rim to score as opposed to getting fouled. If I get fouled, fine. But if I'm going to the rim, I'm going to the rim to score. And I like that about Tyler Herro. Bam looked like what I'm starting to think Bam is. And I know, Ox, that I know, Ox, that I was really high on Bam before the season started. I thought Bam was going to be an all-pro this year. I was looking at Bam to be a 22 to 23 and 10 guy. And that's just not working out. I have to accept the fact that Bam is limited offensively as a player. He is, but he's still really good. He's still really damn good as an offensive player. J-Dub got busy last night. I like the fact that J-Dub does everything that he gets within the flow of that offense in Oklahoma City. One of the better downhill players at 6'6". He's got a really good mid-range game, which I really like about him. And he can shoot the long ball. And he took advantage of mismatches yesterday. It looks to me like they went after Jaime Jaquez. Anytime he had Jaime Jaquez on him, go after him. Now, you would think that, a second-year player wouldn't be that you wouldn't think that a second or a third-year player would be that in tune with going after a second-year player. But he went right after Jaime Jaquez. Like, this dude can't guard me, and I'm going to do it within the flow of the offense. He didn't take bad shots. Not only did he not take bad shots, he got good looks, and he converted on them. So I think that helped. Oklahoma City's bench was just better. They got back in the game, and losing Jimmy Butler again, Knox, it just seems like it's always something with him, man. As good as Jimmy Butler is, it just seems like it's always something with him. And I'm on record saying this, and I'll say it again. The Miami Heat have gotten everything that they're going to get out of Jimmy Butler.
Well, chill. Speaking of that, though, I mean, you and some of the fellas last night, you guys were insinuating that you think maybe it's about the trade situation. Maybe I wanted to get him off the court. How did you feel about that? I don't think I heard you. I think it was mostly Jordan and Mars. I think we're talking about that. What do you think the possibilities of that is? I mean, in the middle of the game, my stomach hurts. Like,
well, he did roll his ankle. He did roll his ankle too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He did roll his ankle too. So it could very well be what it was with the Lakers and Anthony Davis. Like, they're trying to shelve him to keep his value where it is, because the last thing that we want to do, Ox, the last thing we want to do is for this dude to get hurt. And now we can't get anything near to what we actually want for him. So that's probably one of the biggest reasons why they may have shelved him last night. Now, I mean, I don't think he's going to be on the roster. By the time we get to the All-Star break, I doubt very seriously that he's going to be on the roster. I think that they're going to move off of him. If they were going to re-sign him, I think they would have done it already. But I think Jimmy Butler's given everything he could have to Miami. I think they've gotten everything that they could get at him. He was there 5 years, went to the NBA Finals twice, went to the Eastern Conference Championship 3 times. He was an All-Pro, and they got him at 29 years old. So they got him in the prime of his career. They got a legit 4 or 5 good seasons out of him. So, I mean, what else can you really ask for from a guy like Jimmy Butler, who over the last 10 years who averages 64 games on average? That's what you're getting from him. So with that being said, I'm fine moving off of Jimmy Butler. I'm good with that.
Right. Yeah. I think so as well. I think they need to shake something up over there and start over.
Yes.
And chill, just because it came up. Now, I don't want to start no mess. Definitely don't want to do that. But it came up, and I just want to put it on record. And it doesn't matter because there's no asterisks. You know what I'm saying? You play who's in front of you. Basketball, people get hurt. No asterisks, nothing. Denver Nuggets got that championship fair and square. But if Tyler Herro was healthy, oh no, the whole series changes. The whole series, everything changes.
I fought you on that, Ox. I really did. I fought you on that, and I thought you were crazy because of just how good Joker was, just how good he made that whole crew, and not realizing what Tyler Herro brought, just as a long ball shooter, just as a one-on-one player, because Buckets didn't have another guy. It was him and Bam, and I'm dependent on Gabe Vincent and Max Strus. I'm dependent on dudes like that, right? I'm dependent on Gabe Vincent and Max Strus. And Tyler Herro at that point, he was really good. If he was healthy, I still don't think that they beat Denver. I want to get to the bottom of that right now. I don't think they beat Denver, but I don't think Denver walks bottom in 5 games neither. I think it's a lot more competitive if Tyler Herro was on the floor.
Yeah. Okay. No doubt. I want to touch on another thing before we get to the nitty gritty. Chill. I want to play another video. I hope y'all can bear with me for a second. Hope y'all. All right. Let's get to
we got some good action today. I'm really looking forward to this, Ox. I am. I am. I'm really looking forward to this stuff. So,
Okay, let's hear what Anthony Edwards has to say about the Timberwolves and their season so far.
What's on your mind, Ant?
Yeah, we don't have shit on offense. We don't have no identity. Like, I mean, we know I'm gonna shoot a bunch of shots. We know Drew gonna shoot a bunch of shots. And that's all we know. We don't really know anything else. I mean, it's not on the coaches at all. It's on us. We out there playing, but we got to make it easier for each other. Coaches put us in great positions too, man. We just don't do it.
See, that's what, and that's where the divide comes with me. And I feel like Ant brought up a really good point because we have to put a lot of onus on coaching. Like the idea that, we don't have an identity. Well, clearly we do, because coaches are putting you in this position to score the basketball. Coaches are putting you in a position to be good. So the identity should be this. You guys aren't doing that. I do want to put some onus on the coaches, but I can only put so much on them. They can't play, right? So Coach Finch can't play. No, he can't do that. But what he can do is he can put Julius Randle in space. He can put Cat's not on the crew anymore. I'm sorry. He can put Anthony Edwards in space. We can speed the game up a little bit more. Last season, their identity was their defense. They had an average offense at best, but last season was their defense. Their defense made up a lot of their offense. This season, their defense, it hasn't been what it was. It's not the best defense in the league like it was last year, but it's been solid. It hasn't been terrible. It's been solid. They still right around a little bit above average to close to top 10. But with that being said, their action on offense, I have to accept the fact that it's time to move on from Mike Conley. I think he's long in the tooth. I don't really think that we get much from him offensively. I thought that with the addition of Julius Randle, I thought that we could get Mike Conley in spaces where he can knock down open shots, but that's not what's going on. I feel like defensively, he's been a liability, and I'm good moving off of Mike Conley and upgrading at that league guard spot. I just don't think that the young fella is ready yet. But we're in a space right now where we might not have a choice. We might have to stick with the kid and see what we're going to get out of him. And also, I want to add this kid Shannon to the crew too. And I want to see what I can get from him, because I don't think we have a lot of time. And if I'm being honest with you, Ox, I wouldn't be surprised come the trade deadline if they moved off of Julius Randle. DiVincenzo,
can they move off him that quick?
Yes, they can move off him that quick. Yeah, his deal is up. His deal is up at he comes off the books at the end of the season. And I don't think that he will be. I'm not sure that, I mean, he's averaging almost 20 and 10, and I'm 30 years old. Averaging 20 and 10, if I'm being honest with you, averaging 20 and 10 on a playoff team, Julius Randle wants to get paid. So he in that free agent market, he's probably looking at he probably wants to look at a 4-year deal of like 150. I don't know who's gonna go that far, but I wouldn't be surprised if that was his asking price at 30 years old. So With that being said, I wouldn't be surprised if they moved off of him. I still don't think that I still don't think that this is a trade that people can say, yo, the Knicks won this, because again, this is something that we're not going to see until years later. The reason why I say that is because the same thing happened with Kyrie Irving moving up, Kyrie Irving and Isaiah Thomas. Well, the Boston Celtics won that trade. Well, wait a minute. If we're being honest, it was a trickle down effect. So the Celtics trade Kyrie Irving. I'm sorry, not the Celtics. The Cavs trade Kyrie Irving to the Celtics for a pick, which turns into Colin Sexton, who ultimately gets moved to Utah with Lauri Markkanen for Donovan Mitchell. And now we see where the Cavs are. So did the Celtics really win that trade with Kyrie Irving, or did they not? And we didn't find this out until years later, right? We didn't find this out until years later that that's what happened. So, I mean, I could say the same thing about Minnesota. What ultimately happens with this? What ultimately happens with this Julius Randle trade? As of right now, I mean, it doesn't look like it's a question. There was a lopsided trade. Cat looks fantastic in New York, and Julius Randle still is good. He's still good with Minnesota, but they've definitely gone the other way, right? They've definitely gone the other way. And Brandon, do yourself a favor. He does have an option, but he's not going to exercise that option. He's coming off the books. That's why I said that this is the last year of his deal. That's what I'm talking about. But anyway, as I was saying, Ox, when a guy like Julius Randle gets on your crew, what you have to implement, right, is you got to implement ways to get him. You got to implement ways to get him a part more of the offense, but you got to demand more from him on defense. You do. Now, I know that we've had this conversation that Julius Randle can't really play defense, and maybe that's true, right? Maybe that's true. Julius Randle can't play defense, but what I can demand from him is I can demand that effort, and I don't get that effort from him as much as I'd like, and I think that's the problem. That's the biggest problem.
I would say the Knicks won the trade just based on the fit that Cat has been, the fit that Cat has been with that Knicks team. They clearly won the trade. Julius Randle is not bad like people think, and I understand why people think. A lot of people don't know what they're looking at. You got the Minnesota Timberwolves on offense are just bad all around. Like Mike Conley is obviously taking a step back. Gilgeous-Alexander, Walker, he's not who y'all think he is. I don't know who they think he's supposed to be. Jaden McDaniels has regressed. Dante DiVincenzo has regressed. I know we want to blame Julius Randle for this, but we can't blame Julius Randle for Dante DiVincenzo not being who he was last year.
I don't think he wants to be there, Ox. I don't.
Right, but that's not Julius Randle's fault.
Not my fault.
That's a Dante DiVincenzo situation. Just because you don't want to be here doesn't mean you don't got to play basketball. You know what I'm saying? I'm so tired of professional basketball players. I'm just not happy. What?
This is part of the gig, yo.
What are you talking about? You're not happy to play basketball. You know what I'm saying? So it's not. It's in. I think what Ant did in that interview, if that's what we want to call it, I think it was him telling the truth and realizing, oh shit, am I putting this on my coaches? Oh, it's not coach's fault. It's not. It is. It is coach's fault. You know what I'm saying? If we keep seeing the same thing over and over, regardless of what you got, regardless of what you got to switch up, you got to change up some offense, coach, because the sets that you're running, the offense they're running, it's just not working. I think they need to make some changes. And if the change means trading Julius Randle to get pieces that fit better with your team, that's whatever. You know what I'm saying? That's no problem. I don't think in the sense of a whole season, we don't have time to be prideful. We don't have time to be like, oh well, we made that move. We got to stick with it. We got to prove to everybody that Julius Randle was the right move. That's not. There's no future in that way of thinking. So whatever they have to do, they should do it. If it means sitting Mike Conley down, letting the young fellas work in there a little better, then I think they have to do that. But whatever it is, they need to make a change because it's just not working for them. So as of now, the Knicks won that trade hands down.
Well, there is a future in it, Ox, and the future is I'm probably going to get canned if I keep sticking to something that's not working, and it's just going to look bad. That's number one. Number two, I have to implement as a coach. I got to implement somebody. Okay, this is my guy. This is who I'm going to run my offense through. This is who's going to be the anchor on my defense. This is how my rotation is going to work. These are the guys that I'm going to roll with in terms of my rotation. That's coaching, right? This is how I'm going to implement my style throughout the course of the game or throughout the course of the season. And when it's not working, sure, I adjust to things. But a lot of this onus, to Ant's point, if they put us in positions to score and we're not doing our job, then that's on us. And I feel like Julius Randle, who is coming off being a 24-game guy, well, Julius Randle comes over to Minnesota, and Julius Randle is going to be a huge part of their offense. Because, again, I'm losing 20-10, and I'm losing 20-10, and I'm getting back 20-10, but it's a different 20-10. I'm not getting the long ball shooter. I am getting a downhill guy. I am getting a guy who can pass the ball out of the paint. I am getting a playmaker, right? I am getting that. So in the process of me getting that, what I have to do is I got to implement a system where he can flourish. And not just him, he can make us flourish, where we could get guys like DiVincenzo more involved. But if he doesn't want to play, to your point, then why the hell is he here? I maybe have to get him off the floor. I may have to get DiVincenzo off the floor. I may have to play Alexander Walker in a different space, because I think Alexander Walker he's actually been really good as a defender. I didn't think that he was initially, but I've been watching him. I've been watching him more, and I think that he's been really good defensively, but I feel like offensively, because there is no spacing, which he can create, I don't think that they implement him in the offense as much as they can. So there's some changes that need to be made offensively in Minnesota. No doubt about that.
Right, and definitely. To get down to the title of the show, Chill, we got a couple people in the lobby. I want to bring them up.
Mm-hmm.
But first, I want to ask you, why are the NBA ratings plummeting? Is it the product? Is the product not good? Are people just not basketball fans anymore? Is it because they're watching football right now? Is it because they're shooting too many threes? What's happening? LeBron James was he insinuated something along the lines of the threes. JJ Redick said that he doesn't think that's an issue. He thinks he said something along the lines of a lot of teams are constructed in a way to where they have to shoot threes. Long tools are turning into threes, and a lot of people feel like that's the proper way to play. Is it because of injuries? If y'all look at the thumbnail, Kawhi Leonard's on the thumbnail for a reason. Are people not watching because the stars are hurt? KD's been hurt a couple times. Kawhi hasn't played all season. Joel Embiid stays hurt. What is happening? I want to ask you that before we let the guys in the back come up and give their take on this too.
So let's dead the logic of shooting threes and the style of play, because when Steve Nash and Steph Curry came along, they were shooting the long ball, and then everybody started shooting the long ball, and it was working, and teams were winning NBA championships, and people loved it. So that's not the problem. I've always said this. In order for you to run a successful business, in order for you to have a successful brand, you have to have a face. You have to have something that people gravitate toward. And the reason why the NBA was as popular as it was in the 80s was because of Bird and Magic. We had a face to put to the league. And not only did we have a face to put to the league, we had a style of play. Magic played fast. With Magic playing fast, he sped the game up. With him speeding the game up, him getting guys involved, and it was beautiful basketball. It looked good. Same thing with Bird. Bird was rough and rugged. Bird got on the glass. Bird was able to pass the basketball with the best of them. That style of play is what people gravitated toward. Plus, with the two faces of the league. Then you add in Jordan. Okay, now Michael Jordan played above the rim. So now the two guard, who is now 6'3" and 6'4", now he's 6'6", and he's got to play above the rim. And now that style of play is what's going on. So now then you add in Shaq. And then you add in the big man, the dominant big fella, who has the dominant space on the floor and who's dominant like Shaq is, with jump hooks and right hooks and running the floor and athletic as he is. And you add Kobe Bryant to that, who now you got a mixture of the dominant big man, and on top of that, you got a mixture of the dominant big man and some of Jordan. So now we have those two things mixed together. So we have a face to put toward the product that we're putting out. That goes on for as long as it's going on. We don't have that face that people gravitate toward. I think the NBA has been trying to do that. I don't think that they've been successful in it, because I feel like they've been picking the wrong people, but they've been trying to put that face to the league in that game, like they did with James, with Steph Curry. They tried to do that, and it's not working right now, which would explain why ratings are down. I'm not buying that logic that ratings are down because streaming. Ratings are down because tickets are as high as they are. Tickets are as high as they are, or the brand of basketball is bad. Ox, I saw an 88-68 game in the NBA Finals between the Detroit Pistons and the Lakers. That happened. The Lakers scored 68 points. We still tuned in. You know why? Because Kobe and Shaq were there. I saw a 78-73 game in the NBA Finals between the Utah Jazz and the Chicago Bulls. We still tuned in. Why? Because there was a face, and that was Jordan. I saw the San Antonio Spurs and the San Antonio Spurs and LeBron James. We still tuned in. As bad as quote unquote bad as that basketball was, we tuned in because we identified with the face of the league. We wanted to see him just as much as we wanted to see the game, if not more. So I'm not buying that whole logic of ticket sales and NBA attendance. I think NBA attendance was at a record last season. So that's not the issue. The issue is that we still haven't gotten a face to put to the game. Once we get that face, who I don't think that we've met yet, once we get that face, I feel like we'll get back to what the NBA used to be.
Okay. Yeah, I think those are some good points. I see people in the chat are saying that they believe streaming is a big issue. Some people are saying that it's League Pass. Like League Pass might be a little too expensive. They don't want to pay for NBA League Pass and NFL League Pass. A lot of different things. I want to ask some of the people in the lobby what they think, and let's hear from the people. We're gonna start with my main man, Leaf Diggy. What up, Leaf?
What up?
What's going on? Yo, so a lot of times when I'm talking to Chill, I do this shit where I agree with him and then shit on something that he said later on. So this in this segment, I guess I would have to agree with he's absolutely he's right about having a face. And the face that they pushed for too long obviously is LeBron James. LeBron James is they spoon fed us LeBron James and Steph in the finals for like 4 straight years, and then people gravitated towards that. Now you got 8. You fast forward 6 8 years later, people are still stuck in nostalgia. That's the problem. That's one of the big problems. They looking for LeBron and Steph to get back in the finals again, and they too old. And they shouldn't be on that. Yeah. So
should be.
Yeah. And the faces that they've tried to push, I guess for lack of a better term, Zion, John Morant, Joker, Giannis. Yeah, whatever. Those guys are just not gravitational pulls. They just not. And one of the reasons why is because it's part of the reasons why is because Adam Silver and the NBA front office in terms of marketing, and I said this to Chill 2 years ago when we first started talking. It's in terms of marketing. While LeBron James is here, they are very, very bad at what they do. I've been saying that.
Well, they still stuck on James. That's why.
And that's why I said it 2 years ago, and I stand on business today.
Yeah,
they are effing bad at what they do in terms of marketing, and it's combination. And let's not leave out the media. Let's not leave out Nick Wright talking about Joker is the worst MVP that he's ever seen. He been screaming that to the high heavens for the last 2 years. Let's not forget about the media talking not even realizing that OKC teams like OKC and Houston and Memphis are sitting at top of the West, and now you just started plugging in OKC games to fill the slots on TNT and ESPN. You just started doing that.
I just heard. I gotta say. Go ahead, Ox. I'm sorry.
I gotta say because JJ Redick touched on that as well, and I gotta say that's a cop out. For people to say that people aren't watching the game because they feel like inside the NBA is shitting on players and stuff like that. What is what Shaq and Chuck got to say? What does that got to do when you're watching the game? It's not like you're listening to Chuck and Shaq while you're watching. If you can't make up your own mind based on what you're watching, then what's happening here?
But we do have. No, wait a minute.
Well, Chill. If I like pepperoni pizza, Chill.
Sure.
And I like to put my pineapples on pepperoni pizza, and you tell me, Ox, that shit is disgusting. I'm just gonna stop eating it because you're telling me it's nasty. If
Well,
I like pepperoni pizza with pineapple on it,
yep.
I'm gonna eat pepperoni pizza with pineapple on it.
Yes, you are. But here's the difference, though, Ox. It'd be different if it was just me, but if it's me and I actually own one of the best pizzerias in the world, and I'm telling you, yo, pizza sucks. This pizza is terrible. You hearing this from me, and you hearing this from another person that's telling you this pizza that you eating, it sucks. Well, you're gonna start listening like, wait a minute, maybe this pizza does suck. That's the problem with both Chuck and Shaq. These guys are NBA players. These guys are legends. They're telling us that the game sucks. Well, if they're telling us that the game sucks, these guys are legends. People are going to listen to them. Like, wait a minute, does the game suck? Are these guys right? Because again, inside the NBA is, if not the best, one of the best shows on television. I think it's the best. But with that being said, if they're telling you that this product sucks, I don't think that that's good for the brand. Instead of telling us, okay, sure, it sucks, but this is what we can do to make it better.
Yeah,
as opposed to the product that sucks.
And to add on to that, Bobby, you got to realize their voices is being heard a whole lot more than anybody else's. And they only on what 2 nights a week. The thing is, they got who got most of the marquee games outside of ESPN but them. And when you hear their voices and when you hear them say it, like they've been like everybody's gonna gravitate toward. Most people are gonna gravitate towards that, especially the hardcore basketball fans and the day one basketball fans, because they was around 20-25 years ago watching the game and they saw Shaq and they saw Barkley out on the court, and now they fast forward all these years later and now you got what you got now.
Well, Leaf, how come when old heads and even me myself, how come when we tell these kids, oh man, y'all need to stop playing video games, sitting around, and why how come video game sales keep going up? How come there's not a decrease in kids?
I'm gonna tell you why. Why
is it that they say that they stop watching basketball because people say that the product is no good, but when people say that video games are no good, kids still sit around all day playing video games? I don't understand. What's going on? I'm gonna tell you why. We tell people certain stuff is bad for you. They still do it. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna tell you why, Bobby. I'm gonna tell you why, Bobby. Because as a consumer of a video game, 2K was handing out free free 99 league passes for the year. And I've been buying that shit for the last 2-3 years, and that's how I've been keeping up with most of the games any damn way, because I never paid for league pass out of my pocket with my own money. So 2K been adding that shit to their content, man, and I've been buying it almost ever since. And come to think about it, the last 3 years I've been up here with y'all talking, getting in these discourses, talking to conversations just because of it. So now I'm watching more basketball than I should be watching. I mean, because now you can watch it on your phone. Now you can watch it on the TV. You can watch it at your girlfriend's house. You can watch it on somebody, or you can watch it in a bar. You can watch it everywhere now. So I mean, it's a lot of places to watch it. But at the same time, if we seeing 3-pointer, or layup 3-pointer, it ain't necessarily about the game and the style of play. It's about how others chap the media personnel, how they chap and how they talk about it too. And that's the one thing that Chill was talking about when he touched on Barkley and Shaq. And that's the one thing I talk about when I talked about Nick Wright in the media, talking about how Joker is the worst MVP he's ever seen. How is that possible?
Right.
Well, wait a minute. Remember too, and I know you got. I know we got to move on, but remember who we're talking about though, Ox. We already on the hook. They already got us. We aren't the ones that they need to convince. We watching anyway. So
they convince the new fans.
It's the different people. It's the younger generation, or it's that kid who his mother knows who Anthony Edwards is. That's who we trying to get on the hook. We trying to get his mother to know who Anthony Edwards is. So that's the way that we can move forward.
Right on.
That is the way. That is the way that we can move forward. And the thing is, when you find more pieces, the thing is they have to be as cordial into the media and as respectable and as knowledgeable as LeBron James has been. That's the and it has Jordan and then Magic has been to the media. And you have to be able to promote them and promote their professionalism as well. Because if you can't do that and they just sitting around and they know how to play, they just know how to play ball. But in the media, they saying and doing goofy shit on and off the court. You can't promote them. A la Zion, a la Ja Morant. You can't promote them.
Sorry.
Right.
All right, Leaf.
All right,
man. Appreciate it.
It's a different space, Ox, because again, I I don't buy into the ideology. You know, the game was played by gentlemen, and you know, back in my day, listen. One of the things I always found out, whether it's in pro baseball, pro basketball, pro football, any sport, any business, once you put a face to it, right? Once you put a face to it, then people can identify it. Then people can identify with it, right? People identified with Jordan. People identified with Curry. People identified with James. And in fact, turning James into what they turned him into, there were more people who tuned in who wanted to see him lose and wanted to see him do bad than they cared about the sport. They just wanted to see him either win or him lose. We don't have that guy in the game today where we can identify with him and him alone, where he's the face of the league. I said this to you a bunch of different times, Ox. If Giannis Antetokounmpo was from Fort Lauderdale or if he was from Chicago, he'd be on billboards. He'd be all over SportsCenter. He'd be the face of the NBA. But the fact that he's from Greece, nah.
Right.
And it's an American game.
And you know what, though? Leaf made a great point, too. It's hard to market some of these guys. So it's hard to market some of these guys, man. What happened to the gentleman in the sport? You know, bring back the dress code. But anyways.
Suit, yo. I tell y'all that all the time. Put on a suit. It's okay.
Please bring back the dress code. Do something.
Sweatpants and a hoodie over your head. Yo, you're pro. You showing up to work. You look like you showing up to the gym at the rec center.
Man, you can't market some of these dudes, man.
Oh,
Come
man,
on. LaMelo talk like a scammer. Oh man, man. What? Oh, what you say?
What are you even talking about, yo? I don't even know what you're talking about.
I don't even know what you get these kids some media training, please. But anyways, Chill. I have a question for you, real quick, before we get back to the lobby. Real quick, I have a thought came through my mind. If kids are getting told that the mid-range isn't a good shot, is there a chance that they'll stop working on it? Like the next generations, the kids that are in between the ages of, let's say, 7 to 14 right now, is it a chance that they'll stop working on it?
Well, kids don't shoot the mid-range at all, if you think about it. And if you look at what's going on in college, you know, what's going on in high school, everybody's either running to the rim or to the long ball line. That's where we are. And, you know, analytically, in terms of the numbers, the mid-range shot is the most inefficient shot in basketball. Coaches are teaching that. Take a step, take 2 steps back and shoot at the long ball line. So that's going away from what the game is. And I don't see a lot of players shot faking, 2 dribble pull up at the elbow. I don't see many players one dribble right and pull up 14 feet. I don't see that. And the reason why I don't see that is because they're not being taught that. And that's leaving the game. Whereas despite how quote unquote the analytics say it's inefficient, it does create spacing because you have to honor that. Just like I talked about with Andre Jackson. If Andre Jackson could knock down a consistent 17, 18 footer, if he can knock that down, that creates spacing throughout the rest of the offense because now you got to honor him. And now that opens up a lane for Dame to get to the rim. That opens up a lane more for Giannis to get to the rim. That opens up more space on a box for Brook Lopez to operate. That opens up space for these guys to do that, but it doesn't when you only have a guy shooting the long ball. And not everybody is built the same way, Ox. Not everybody is built the same way. I've said this countless times, guys. Ox is 6'9". I can't play on the block like Ox can. I can't. I can play on the box, but I can't play on the box like Ox. There are too many guys who think they should be at the long ball line. That shouldn't be. That's not your game. No.
Right. Crazy. Let me blow through a couple of these super chats real quick before we get back to the lobby. Yeah, don't go nowhere, guys down there. I got you. Don't worry. Carlos Hernandez says, I know this is random, but if the Kings beat the Lakers in 2002, are they the champs? I was just watching this series.
Yes, I think they do. I think they beat the Nets.
Beat the hell out the Nets.
I 100% think that. I don't know if they sweep them like the Lakers did, but I do think that I think they handle the Nets. Yes, I do think that.
Good question, Carlos. If you're still in the chat, Carlos, could you just say what you thought about that series? Because you said that you were just watching. I'm just curious to know, what do you think about that 2002 series?
And be honest too. Talk about Chris Webber. Don't leave out Webb.
Styles Black. I think the problem, some fans feel like these stars don't care as much, feeling like they don't play through injuries, load managing, ruining All-Star weekend, no defense, threes, analytics ruined it for me.
What Styles, would you care if you put your name on a $150 million check to wear shoes? Would you care as much? Would you care as much if you already put your name on a contract to play for the Charlotte Hornets and that deal is for $180 million? Would you care as much? I mean, a lot of this stuff is upfront. A lot of this stuff isn't earned. If it was earned, I think that these guys would care a little bit more. But a lot of this stuff is upfront. So because it's upfront, there's really no incentive.
I'm with Styles on this one. I agree 100% with everything he said. 100% with everything he said, I agree with. I'm just not impressed anymore. I used to be impressed by NBA players. I'm not impressed at all. Not at all. Styles Black sent another super chat. Another thing is we always getting let down by the primetime matchups we look forward to. We were all excited for Bucks versus Cavs, then Dame don't play.
Last year, Christmas, Philly was supposed to be on against the Miami Heat, and Joel Embiid doesn't play. Neither does Buckets. I mean, Christmas. And by the way, Ox, and I may be going on a little bit of a rant here, but no memo to the NFL: get the fuck from around us. You own a day of the week. Why are you playing on Christmas? It's a Wednesday. Leave us alone. You already have a day of the week. That's Sunday. That's your day of the week. There's no reason for you to come tap in to what we're doing. None. Stay away from us. We don't bother you. And when we do play on Sunday, we play on Sunday after all the action is over. We do not bother you. So why the hell y'all playing on Christmas? Get out of here. Leave us alone.
You heard it here first. NFL.
Fuck out of here, man.
Rockout Deuce says Santi Aldama for Sixth Man of the Year. Aldama. Santi Aldama.
I don't think he's been playing better than Hunter, and I don't think he's been playing better than Pritchard. As good as he's been, I don't think he's been playing nearly as good as those guys have been playing.
Mm-hmm. I really like Santi Aldama. I don't think he has action at Sixth Man of the Year, though.
No.
Okay. Let's get back to the lobby. Who we got next? We got Sneed. Yo, Sneed, what's up, fam?
What up?
What up, Box? What up, Chill?
What up?
All right. So what do I go with first? Cavs, or should I do the whole NBA viewership and all that?
You up here? It's up to you, brother. What's on your mind?
All right. So just some things that I noticed that were missing from like the heyday, the popularity days of the NBA. So it's several things. So obviously you guys talked about the 3-point shooting. It's actually it's not the fact that they're taking a lot of threes. It's just the fact that they're missing a lot. So the ball caroms 20 feet off the rim. Half the time it's going out of bounds. It's like a turnover when they take a 30-foot three for no reason, right? So you got a lot of that going on, but it's high volume missing. It's not really about the fact that they're just taking a lot, because the Warriors took a lot of threes, but they made a lot of threes. We loved the Warriors and the way they played the game. The ball moved and they took high quality shots coming off of screens. I mean, Clay and Steph were killing the league, and everybody loved the way that they were playing off the ball and they were passing and all. It was great. So I don't know. I don't think it's the three. It's who's taking the threes. With respect to rivalries, I think that's missing. I think there's personal rivalries that are missing, and I think team rivalries are missing. Like the star player type rivalries aren't really there.
We can't make guys compete. I don't think we can do that. There's no way. I'm
not saying to make them do anything. I'm just saying it's just not there.
Well, that's why, because they won't compete, and the reason why they won't compete is because their game is not what they stand on. The reason why we had those rivalries, which in divisions with the Cavs and Indiana, with the Bulls and the Detroit Pistons, because their game was what they had. It wasn't about social media. It wasn't about it was about my game is better than your game. And it was about competition more than anything. These guys, I feel like a lot of them are afraid of getting shown up. And because they're afraid of getting shown up, and they already have the contract, the shoe deal, because they already have that sort of stuff, it doesn't really make a difference for us to even compete at that level. That's why you see all-star games, 200 points to 188. That's why.
Yeah, but you need stars that are heels. You need stars that are heroes.
Sure.
We have a lack of like team and city team connectivity. A lot of the casual fans, they're polarized towards a certain player, and then what ends up happening is the player moves. There's no commitment to a team, and then players retire. Nobody clung on to a team, right? So all these things, it's like we can't convert casual fans to diehard fans because they're fickle. It's like it's a certain player. So like, what are all these LeBron hoops watchers? What are they going to do when LeBron's gone? They're just going to disappear. They're just not going to care anymore. They're not going to watch hoops. So like,
why.
Wait, Sneed. Oh no, go ahead. Go ahead.
And that's why you need a face of the league for that reason right there. What you just said, the reason why they don't care is because that person that they identify with ain't around no more. That's why when Jordan left and James showed up and Bryant and Shaq, we still had people to identify with. There's really nobody in the league to identify with. They're trying to do it with Anthony Edwards and guys like that, but it's not working. That's why I don't think that guy, we've met him yet.
Okay, so ask the casual fan. Tell me what you think about the Bucks resurgence. They have no comment. Ask him about the Cavs dominance, beating all the good teams, multiple multi-game winning streaks. Mm-hmm. What can he tell? Ask him about that. They don't know. Tell them to name 3 players from the Thunder. They don't know. Ask them about the Houston Rockets and what they've been doing. They have no comment. Or how about the fact that the Orlando Magic, without Paolo Banchero, who they probably don't even know exists, ask them how they're doing in their last 10 games or their last 15 games or their last 25 games. They don't have anything, no connectivity to the league. How do you convert them from casuals to actual NBA fans?
Well, we don't need to convert them to actual NBA fans. We can keep them as casuals who put their eyes on the TV because that's what we want to do. We're trying to get traffic more than anything, because if we get traffic, we get revenue. People like you, people like me, people like Ox, they already got us on the hook.
We're in.
Right?
We're in.
They already got us. The casual
for now. I'm on my way out.
for right now, sure. But the casual NBA fan, okay, sure, we get them on the hook with a face. And once we get them on the hook with a face, then they'll start paying attention to other things. I can tell you right now, Sneed, this dude that I sit next to, the only reason why he loves Scottie Pippen is because it was a bald head dude that was running with him. That's how he got introduced to Scottie Pippen. He don't know who Scottie Pippen is until he see the bald head dude in Chicago. He's like, wait a minute, there's this other guy in Chicago that's really good. Mm-hmm. I don't and I really like this guy. That's not to say that I don't like this guy. I really like this guy. And now he starts watching. So he goes from being a casual fan of the Bulls because, they got this really good guy to this dude that he really loves. Now he's watching the Bulls off the strength of this guy. We got to get that one guy. Once we get that one guy is now going to put eyes on other people.
And the story about ticket sales, man, the ticket sales are highest in the NFL. The streaming cost is highest in the NFL. You got to pay $400 to get the NFL Sunday ticket from YouTube TV, right? What are these people talking about? It's the streaming and all this other nonsense. That's people who literally don't understand business. Anybody who says that type of nonsense. But probably, and if you guys don't mind to pivot, could I do a little thing on the Cavs real quick?
What's up with the Cavs?
Number 1 in shooting efficiency. Number one in effective field goal percentage.
Oh, they have the best offense in the league, I think.
I don't know if the total offense is the best. I'm just talking about the shooting. This is reflective of the quality of shots. So we were just talking about how, like, the quality of the game is going down. I just want to talk about the Cavs for a minute, because the Cavs are an exception from what everybody talks about, how the NBA is starting to degrade. The Cavs are different. So you have the 6th best team in turnover ratio. You have the 8th in total offense, all things considered. They're an average rebounding team, but what happens is this team in the fourth quarter is number 2 in points scored and number 6 in opponent points scored. They're number 1 in a lot of those fourth quarter metrics. They've got excellent second half defense. They get extra possessions in the fourth quarter because they had against, I think it was the Celtics, in the 2 fourth quarters against the Celtics. I think they only have a couple of turnovers. Maybe 1 or 2 turnovers. In fact, most of those close games you see the Cavs winning, they're only winning because they're not turning over the ball. It's just execution. They're taking care of the ball. Donovan Mitchell actually probably needs to be in consideration for the MVP. This guy's got the best record in the NBA. This guy's playing both sides of the ball. He is as good as anybody when it comes to scoring. He's basically unstoppable. Now he's playing defense. He's averaging 1.6 steals a game. But
He did the same thing last. I think he was second in the league in steals last year. So
and it continues, and it continues. He's
and
so
people,
overlooked. And you know what? The fact that everybody, you know, they love Luka and they love Joker and they love all these guys that play half the game, right? Because they don't play good defense. So they're less effective on an entire side of the ball. But this guy gets overlooked because he plays in Cleveland. And that's part of the reason why that you see the NBA the way the best teams in the NBA right now, in terms of playing the game. Just watch the Cavs, watch the Thunder, watch the Rockets. You got coaches, you got philosophy, you got players buying in, but nobody's watching and nobody cares because it's not in LA, because it's not in Chicago, because it's not in Philadelphia, because it's not in those big markets. Nobody knows anything about these guys. And you know what? It's not too late. These NBA fans, if you really want to get with a good team, it's not too late. Get on the Cavs. Get on the Magic. Go ahead and get on the It's not too late. It's still early season. You could look like you're brilliant. Be like, I was one of the first people on this train.
Okay, right on, Sneak. I appreciate you as always, fam. Appreciate you pulling up, spitting some knowledge, man. We're gonna get it moving. Got a full lobby. Man, keep watching though, man. All right. Some really good points from Sneak. Really good points. Chill.
Yes, sir.
I didn't know that the NFL Sunday ticket cost $400.
Yes.
Yeah. Woo. Okay.
Yes.
Man, y'all paying that? Drop a one in the chat if y'all got the Sunday pass. That's
I got the red zone and I'm good with that. I got red zone and I'm straight with that. Yes, sir. Yeah, I'm straight with red zone. And I'll catch the 49ers when they on Fox, or when they're on Sunday Night Football. But no, I'm not doing that. No, hell no.
Yeah, I mean, football, it ain't all that for me. I'm cool.
I'm good.
All right. Who we got next? We got big fan Breezy. What up, Breeze?
Enjoying the show. Shout to Chill, shout to Big Ox. I think I'm gonna just go on the heater real quick because I know there's a lot of people in the lobby. But I think Fox is getting traded. I think Ant-Man is out of there. And I'll say why. I think Fox is out of there because DeMar DeRozan promised that they will make it to the Western Conference Finals. I just don't believe that.
He got my boy on board. He got my man on board. Yes, he did. He had my man on board before the season started, but keep going.
Also, I think Ant-Man, he's saying a lot to the public, saying a lot to the media, basically saying that we don't have chemistry. You know what I'm saying? And he didn't put it on the coaches. And from what I heard from Stephon Marbury, it's a tough place to live in Minnesota. So I just don't see Ant-Man, you know what I'm saying, staying there the entire ordeal for his deal.
Just so you know, Breezy, my man over here, he never forgave Marbury for that. And he will never forgive Marbury for leaving Barnett. He never will, by the way. But keep going. I'm sorry if I interrupt.
And to the title of the show, I think the NBA sacrificed competitiveness for entertainment. They wanted to entertain people and put people in the seats and shoot a lot of 3-pointers. But the problem is that, to y'all point, I would be reiterating everything y'all said. Everybody don't belong behind that 3-point line. And on top of that, the most space on the basketball court is between the paint and the inside of the 3-point line. For coaches to tell players don't shoot, to step back, like Chill said, and to step back a few feet and take the 3-ball, and the least efficient shot is the mid-range, is just poor coaching. It's poor coaching. I don't know who said that, and it is terrible. But to mix things up, to shake things up like I like to do, for one, if they want to make it better, I think they should do business. I know that this is probably gonna bite me later. I think they should do business with Ice Cube in the All-Star break, for one. I think they should have some type of 2-on-2 or 3-on-3. This whole new All-Star thing with the new teams and all that, I'm not really feeling it. I'm gonna see what happens. You know what I'm saying, when the time comes. But I think that show me Wemby versus Bam. Let me get that. Let me get a 2-on-2. Let me get Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown versus Fox and DeMar DeRozan. Let me get that. Let me get a 2-on-2, a 1-on-1, a 3-on-3 for the All-Star break. Let me get some of that, man. Because at the end of the day, who are they listening to? They quote unquote experts. Chat GPT is telling what would be entertaining. Why the fans don't have a voice? The fans should have a voice. They should be watching Players' Choice right now. But again, like I know I'm on a heater, and I ain't gonna say nothing about the Brooklyn Nets outside of the fact that we in rebuild mode. And after I spoke to Chill last time, the consensus is that we still should go to the draft and try to get Dylan Harper. But it's a lot going on. I don't want to say stay too long because I know I'm watching it too, and I don't want to be long-winded because I know other people in the lobby. But thank you guys. You know what I'm saying? Thank you guys for tapping in. But just for my listening pledges, can y'all tell me what y'all think about the 2-on-2 or 3-and-3 in the All-Star break, and would that help the NBA? What do y'all feel?
We actually had a conversation not too long ago about that, and the consensus was, well, not the consensus. I mean, I thought, I forgot who brought it up, but if they made guys, instead of picking guys, if they had a sign-up sheet for a one-on-one throughout the course of the All-Star break, like we got a sign-up sheet, we got guys signing up to play one-on-one. People would watch Jordan Poole get it on with Devin Booker. They would watch. I would. 100%. People would watch Anthony Edwards get it on with Devin Booker. They would watch KD get it on with Brandon Ingram. They would watch that. 100% they would watch that. The question, because there are guys in the NBA as one-on-one players who do want to compete. On top of that, to be honest with you, there's guys in the NBA who look at these other guys like, I would fry him. And I would love to get him one-on-one on the big stage. There's plenty of guys who look at other guys and say that, because I mean that's the fabric of that game. I'm pretty sure that Jordan Clarkson out in Utah is looking at Tyler Herro going, I'll bust his ass. I wish you would get me one-on-one with him. Yes, sir. I would definitely sign up to go up against Tyler Herro one-on-one. Yes. And I think people would watch that too. Yes, they would.
Yeah, now that's where I'm at, man. I want to see the NBA improve, and I think shows like the Players' Choice help that. So tap in, subscribe to Players' Choice, Ox channel, Chill for Chill channel, my channel too. Y'all can subscribe to my channel too. And yeah, man, I'm in the chat, man. I love the show.
Good to talk to you, brother.
All right, Breeze. I know Breezy wanted us to tap in on the 1-on-1, 2v2, 3v3 thing for the All-Star game. But I got to talk about what he said, because I've been saying that ever since I got on this platform. I feel like the NBA sold out. They sold out. They sold the game of basketball for entertainment value. I feel like they prioritize entertainment for basketball. That's been my take since y'all seen me. Since the first time y'all seen me on Players' Choice, that's been my take. They don't care about basketball anymore. It's all about the almighty dollar. Everybody says, well, the casuals pay the bills. Those were making money before this. You know what I'm saying? Right. But it's all, the problem with capitalism is it's always gotta make more. We gotta cut the fat. We gotta trim the fat. We gotta lay guys off. We gotta do this. Because making $200 million in a year isn't enough. Next year, if we don't make $230 million, we failed, because we didn't make more than we made last year. And that ruins everything. It always ruins every industry. In every industry, eventually, it gets ruined because of capitalism. The NBA is not an exception. Basketball is not an exception. They have ruined basketball for money. They have ruined basketball for entertainment. And it's just obvious. It's a fact. Breezy, you were spitting. We only got a couple guys left. Let me see who we got up next. Frank, I see you. I got you. You're up next. I got Classic. I got Classic first, though, my man. I got you. What up, Classic?
Yo, what up, guys?
What up?
But yeah, I think it's a lot of reasons the ratings are down. The reasons I feel like is, for one, the referees. I don't think you can play good defense or be physical because they call everything a foul. And whenever you do that, the star players, they don't try to focus their skill set on making shots now. It's more about foul baiting. And that kind of ruins my viewing experience, because I want to see guys, like make tough shots or make shots that I'm like, man, I wish I could do something like that. But whenever guys are just foul baiting, for me, it kind of ruins it, and the referees let them get away with it. And then another reason why, and what that leads to as well, is I feel like people, a lot of people in the media, they don't care about winning. It's all about stats now. And one thing that bothers me, being a Jason Tatum fan, is like him not being the best player in the world definitively. I think that kind of hurts the game because it doesn't matter if you win anymore. It's all about how you play. And so now because he didn't play the way people liked, it's like we don't care who wins the championship. So now Jokic is going to keep winning MVPs, and people are going to try to match his stats instead of trying to win the game. And then another thing for me is I'm cool with people shooting threes, but like the guy up here said earlier, you got to make the threes. Like I remember they used to always say it's a make or miss league, and now with the analytics, they keep stressing, oh yeah, they shot they you got to get your attempts up. But I'm like, if you're not getting your attempts up and if you're not making it, it don't matter. And if you do want to shoot and miss a bunch of threes, have somebody on your team for offensive rebounding. I feel like somebody should be challenging Wilt Chamberlain's rebound record with all the threes that are being missed. But teams they want to play five out instead of having somebody specifically for offensive rebounding.
Well, Andre Drummond was on his way to doing it. Andre Drummond when he was in Detroit. I think he was in year 5 or year 6. He was on pace to be in the 20,000 point, 20,000 rebound club with Wilt. He was on pace to do that. That was going on. But then he ended up leaving and it became something else. But we had that going on. That 100% was going on. But to your point, I think it's interesting how we do discount winning. I mean, I do think winning matters. I'm a huge component of that. I can't talk about the best player in the world. I can't have you in that conversation if you didn't win. I can't. I mean, we can talk about you being awesome, but winning matters. And even though I don't think that Jason Tatum is better than Joker, I don't think he's better than Giannis, but the fact that he's won, I do think that we have to have the conversation about him being a top 5 player in the world. 100%, we have that conversation. No doubt about that, off the strength that he's won. Now, what happens if the Celtics win the NBA championship again this year and he plays to the level better than he played last year and he end up getting the Eastern Conference Championship MVP and the Finals MVP? So that's a back-to-back champion and a Finals MVP. Like, how do we talk about it?
Yeah, I don't think people are going to respect it because it's like the stars are stuck in a rough place because
we can't.
With his stats, I don't like the way Tatum plays, but it's effective. He's made first team All NBA, and it's like I feel like he could be better, but would he risk changing the way he plays just for other people to try to say, yeah, I like the way he plays, he's better, and then he risks not getting his stats up? That would be a big risk for him to change the way he plays just for it to look better. And then, so I kind of wish my last thing is in regards to the players getting paid. I wish it was a way they could get paid off commission, like each year instead of guaranteed money. Like, yeah, if you play good this year, you get this amount of money. Kind of like how like waiters get tips and stuff. Like, yeah, if you served real good, then you're gonna get like the biggest tips and all that.
Well, we
instead
have
of
that.
having the guaranteed money, because the guaranteed money, I think it ruins it.
Well, we have that. We got guys on 1-year deals. We got guys on prove it deals. We got guys like Jalen Green is on a 2-year deal. We got not Giannis. I'm sorry. We got Zion on the deal that he was on. So we have guys. Don't get me wrong. The NBA has put it together where you've been able to be put in a position where you can earn really good money. But we do have guys in spaces where you got to earn your dough. You do. We got guys on 1-year deals. We got guys on 2-year deals. We got guys that, you get cut, we don't have to pay you. No, we had that going on. I don't think that increases the product. I don't think that increases play because, the same thing's going on in the NFL. They could rip your contract up at any point. I don't think that makes guys play any harder. No.
Yeah. Well, all right, Classic. Appreciate you, brother.
Good to talk to you,
all
brother.
right, man. Y'all be good.
Yeah.
Okay, let's keep it moving. We got real quick. Let me read this super chat real quick, and then we'll keep back. Carlos Hernandez says, "How about the 2001?" Oh, let me pull it up on the screen. I'm just reading it. It says, He says, how about the 2001 All-Star game? Every player going at it. One of the best All-Star games ever. I think
Yes,
the best.
that was a great All-Star game. And I think that was in DC with Marbury and Bryant and Vince Carter and Tracy McGrady and Duncan and Weber. Yeah, that was a great All-Star game. No question about it. You can't make guys compete. The only way that this could happen is there has to be an incentive taken out. What I mean when I say there's an incentive taken out, that incentive, which is the money. Okay, well, we already know that they're making money. So what's the incentive for these guys? My incentive was my game. My incentive, my weapon was my game. My incentive was the notoriety, which led to more bread, which led to more endorsements, which led to more bread, which led to my game being better, which led to a bigger contract. That's the incentive. Today, there is no incentive. I mean, today, the incentive has already been given to them. The incentive is your contract being guaranteed for 4 years at $175 million. Your sneaker deal with Puma for $150 million, that's already guaranteed. So there's incentive in the game. It's just already been given to you.
Yeah, it's a lot. There's a lot to it, and on top of that, it's just there's a participation trophy. People don't care about winning. It's not when I'm just saying when you talk about it doesn't matter if you win. You don't have to win to be well. That's just because you grew up in a participation trophy era.
Sure.
Let's see what Frank got to say. What's up, Frank?
What up?
What's up, boys?
What up?
I don't really have anything to really say. I really wanted to just comment on something. I saw that Chill said that in order to get more people involved in basketball, they'd have to follow a star player, right? Like I know me personally, the person that got me involved in the game of basketball is LeBron. And I feel like if we brought back, to Chill's point, another star player, like if they could just market one young player, which will probably to me at least be Wemby. It will probably be him. But because he's French, like I don't know, it's not gonna sell as well. But he plays the game the right way though, which I love about the kid. He's young.
Here's the thing, Frank. You just said something really interesting that
yeah.
James got you on the hook. Like, who are some of your favorite players in the game?
LeBron.
Yeah.
Obviously LeBron, sorry.
Sure.
Westbrook.
Yep.
Because he plays hard.
Sure.
I liked Lonzo Ball at first, but not anymore because he's hurt.
Right.
I really just follow Bron, really. But my favorite players are the ones that play hard.
It sounds to me, Frank, like the guys that you gravitated toward were as a result of James. So you watch James, and now all of a sudden you see Westbrook. Hey, I like this guy too. And then you see Kyrie Irving, or you see Damian Lillard, or you see Kawhi Leonard. You see one of these guys, and you're like, I like this guy too. But this is the guy who got you on the hook to see these other guys.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the only way that this works.
That's the only way.
And by the way, in order for this to work, we can't just get a guy who we have and market it. He's got to win, because that matters too.
You got to win too.
In order for you to see this guy, you can't just see him in January and in February. No, you got to consistently see him in May and in June. Year. Yeah, you got to consistently see him, because once you see him, now you start to get accustomed to seeing him, which now is going to turn your eyes, like my man over here, Ox, to Scottie Pippen, because he finds, as good as Jordan is, you know what? I like Jordan, but this light-skinned 6'8", 6'9" guy is really good too. So I'm gonna start paying more attention to him. That's how you get involved in it more.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, definitely.
That's a valid point.
Good to talk to you.
I just wanted to say that, like, I feel like with James, what's great about him is that he showed up to his job every single day. And people like that are the type of people that I feel like will sell people to watch, more basketball. And if the guys aren't playing, it's hard to really like them. Like, I can't stand Joel Embiid. I freaking hate him, bro. I literally hate him. The guy doesn't play. He's a star player, superstar skills, and then he doesn't show up and play. So how could any fan actually want to watch him? Like, Like, it's just not something I like. That's why your show to me is the best, because it is the same guys on every Chill, Ox, Ron, Mars. It's all the same dudes. I can't stand Swiper or Ben, but like, it's a great show, and that's what I like. So I like that people that show up every day and do their thing.
Right on, Frank. Appreciate you.
Yeah, and shout out Kyrie.
Okay, shout out Kyrie. All right, Frank. Appreciate you, bro.
Peace.
Shout out to Swiper and Pin too. Shout out to my guys, man. Chill. I had a thought, and I saw a video earlier, right? A couple days ago. I think, is the NBA maybe a little soft because some guys, certain demographics are getting priced out of youth athletics? It's real. It was never necessarily cheap to play, but it's real expensive to play nowadays for these youngsters.
It is.
You know what I mean? And so I think because it's been like that with baseball for a while.
Sure.
Soccer, but now that basketball is following that trend, because as we know, youth athletics is $1 billion industry. I know most of us know that.
A lot of bread in it.
And I think that a certain demographic is getting priced out of youth athletics, making it hard for some of the tougher kids to be able to keep playing. Is it possible? What does that sound like?
What that sound like, Ox, is kind of moving the game away from the streets where it was. That's why it was called cagers. Like when you saw in the newspaper, the cagers, because that's where it originated from, because they played in a cage. It was in the streets. Well, that's not really going on as much, because to your point, Ox, it was cheap to play basketball. All I needed was a pair of sneakers and a ball, and that's all I could. Now I got to sign up for a team, and we got to buy uniforms, and my people got to put money up for us to travel to places. Well, we didn't have to do that 30 years ago. I went to a basketball camp, which was like $120, which, that was a lot of bread. But now it's always something that you have to pay for. So to your point, yes, Ox, there are certain demographics that are getting priced out, and it's becoming a little bit more expensive to play a lot, which would explain why, you don't see the Oxes of the world playing basketball as much. You don't see Chill playing as much, because Chill grew up in the projects, and Chill don't really have. I don't have it like that to play for. I don't know, the Bay Area Dynamos. I don't have, even though I'm nice to play with them, but my bread ain't like that to be able to play with them. So unfortunately, I can't do it.
Yeah, let's keep it real. They're gentrifying basketball.
That's what it sounds like.
They're gentrifying basketball.
They're making it nice. They're making it look nice, and they pushing you out.
There's certain areas that in all types of cities that when I was younger we used to go to, and they were rougher neighborhoods. Now I go back to those neighborhoods and I see man buns. I see all types of coffee shops. I see little white girls running around jogging. And I'm just like, yo, where the hell am I at? That's what the NBA. That's what the NBA is turning into. Okay, I gotta say it. I ain't want to say it, Chill, but I gotta say it. They gentrifying basketball.
You might be doing that. It's like going back to Jersey City, and I look around and it's Starbucks and light rails and Bank of America and white people. I'm like, what the hell? What's going on? What's going on around here? This is not what was going on when I grew up.
And Classic said earlier in the chat, I saw you, Classic. I'm gonna shout out what you said. You said that if you're nice, they'll find you. Yeah, but that typically happens when you're about 13, 14, when these bigger AAU teams, like, so by the time I was like 13, 14, some of the bigger AAU teams were like, okay, it's all good. Come on, you come with us. Here's your bag, here's your shoes, get in the van, let's go. You know what I'm saying? Don't worry about it. Mine, he don't need nothing. Let's go. But that happens when you get 13, 14, 15 years old. You got to get to that first. And now these 8-year-olds, 7-year-olds, 9-year-olds can't play ball because it costs $400 to play in a 3-month league. And then your parents got to pay to get in, your sisters got to pay to get in, your brother, everybody got to pay to get in. Everybody. So they're gentrifying basketball, and I just wanted to go ahead and point that out. That's why.
You might be getting priced out. I might have to move out of my neighborhood. What the hell? They're making my neighborhood nice.
Right. We got one more person in the lobby. Let's get to Killer 6ix9ine.
What up?
What's up, everyone?
What's up, brother?
Everyone is doing? Yeah, I think one aspect that I observe throughout the history, I think league choose who is the face, but audience gotta accept that person. Like in early 2000, Shaquille O'Neal was face of the NBA, and through his popularity, Kobe Bryant was rising up. And Kobe Bryant was marketed heavily in early 2000, but Colorado happened, and he'll lose his appeal, lose a lot of things that could, like 2006 MVP race was kind of lost because of that case. I will die on that hill. I will go on grave by saying that.
No, that's fact. That's a fact. That Colorado thing threw a monkey wrench in what he did in 2006. It did.
And Kobe Bryant have to literally rebrand his image around 2008 and 2010 to gain acceptance and be the face of the league. Around 2006 to 2010, league also got LeBron James, and LeBron was naturally beloved till decision happened. And thing about face of NBA is, I think I observed, like there should be some spice factor in it. Like people should be attracted to him to love and to hate for both of those aspects.
Sure, I can agree with that.
Like Michael Jordan was clean cut McDonald. He promote McDonald, but he was also known as a egregious competitor, like, and one who gamble a lot. Like man was infamously interviewed and said, it's not gambling problem, it's competitive problem. Man literally said that on national television. And there is controversy factor on the stars of NBA. And I don't think there is that much in it right now on stars who are promoted. Like Jason Tatum, you can watch his documentary. He's literally saying, I play for my wife and for my kids, and I want to be best version of myself. I think that story is tough to sell. And I think another aspect that I have observed is the middle market team, which throughout the history, which are popular, meet up a very popular team at that time, like the late 80s Cleveland Cavalier team. They went through Chicago on every playoff, so they are memorable. Hawks, your Kings, they met Lakers every year. They are remembered because of that. And similarly, another thing in late 90s and mid to late 90s, I observed that Houston and Seattle, that was rivalry. Chill can remember that. 93, 96, 97. They met 3 times in postseason, and people remember that. So I think it was kind of easier to promote middle market team because they meet big market team routinely, and they are in people conscious. They were in people public conscious, essentially. Right now, we don't have that much frequent playoff matchup. Like a rivalry could be good. Like if let's say Memphis and Lakers meet 2-3 times, a good rivalry would be there. A memorable
it might help.
thing.
Yes, sir. And listen, and my man, we got to go, but you definitely you made some really good points. Yes, you did. 100%. Appreciate that, brother. Yep. Really appreciate it. We got to go though. We got to go.
We do got to go, Kill It. Trust me,
we got to go.
Claire texting me right now. Fam, so you don't want to piss her off.
Yeah, no, we do not.
But that's. Yeah, no doubt. Good points, bro. Appreciate you. Come back next Saturday. We can finish this up. Appreciate you.
Yep.
He made a really good point about the love-hate relationship, because despite how much people love Jordan, there was plenty of people who couldn't stand him. Plenty of people who hated Jordan. There was plenty of people who couldn't stand the sight of Jordan. So there has to same thing with James. As much as people love James, there's plenty of people who wanted to see him drown. So yeah. They love 2011. They love 2007. So yeah.
Chill. You know what? You I can't remember who was up, but y'all we're talking about when James goes and the fans go behind him. Chill. If we can get rid of the bronsexuals, the world would be a better place. Y'all can get up out of here. Tell them, chill. And get up out of here, y'all. We don't need
get them off the floor. Get them dudes up out of here.
Claire, nobody's capping. I'll show the messages right now. I'll show the messages right now. But well, that's the show today, y'all. Appreciate everybody for stopping by. Appreciate everybody for pulling up. Killer, Frank, Breezy, Leaf Diggy, Classic. If I forgot, my bad. But come back again next week. Everybody show us some love. We'll be here on Monday on the panel. Y'all know what time. Y'all know where to find us. We don't need no introductions. Chill. Anything you got for the people? Sneed. Yeah, man. Thanks, Mar. Shout out Sneed. Sneed be spitting. Hey, Sneed be melting the mic.
Yes, he does. Yes, he does. Put on a suit. Drink water. Don't drink and drive. Hey, man, call your mother. When last time you talked to your mother? I just talked to my mother a couple of days ago. Call your mother. And if you're ever in the Portland area and you had too much to drink, my man over here, pick up the telephone. He'll come scoop you. He will not leave you out there. Nah, he won't do that to you. Good to have you guys here.
Not this week, Chill. Or the next week. I'm gonna be sauced up myself. I ain't picking up nobody.
Not this weekend. He Ubering it this weekend. But catch him any other time, he'll come scoop you. He got you covered. No doubt about that. But it was good to see you guys. We will see you guys soon. But until then, take it light. Take it. Absolutely, man. It was good to see you guys. No doubt.
All right, y'all. Absolutely. And I don't mean Sneeze be melting the mic the same way Ron do with his hot ass breath. I'm talking about he be melting the mic.
Get Ron at it. Get garbage. Trash.
All right, y'all.
Yeah.